Hi, this is Kim with Kimber Kiwi Art, and this is another Art Addicts Alliance collab video for May. So welcome back, and let's get into it. So getting into all the members that are on this channel, we have Jazz Capri, Weblight Dreams, Jenna Gets Creative, Pan-Dimensional Space Zombie, All Funnies and Games, myself, Aurora's Art World, The Lori Files, Bluefin, and Invoke Art Sense. And our featured artist for this month is Artfully Yours with Diana, and all of their links will be in the description box below. Our theme for this month is celestial bodies. So with this theme, I thought, wouldn't it be fitting to do a sci-fi painting of a beautiful goddess with all of these beautiful swirling planets surrounding her and lots of stars, and so I decided I was going to paint this one. I am kind of really competitive with myself, so whenever I do something, I try to do something different the next time. And so this month I'm going to paint this one, and all the supplies will be listed in the description box below, but I'll give you a brief overview of what I'm using. So I'm using black mixed media paper. I'm using cheap acrylic paints that I found at Michael's craft store, paintbrushes, and gold leaf paper, which I have never used before. So let's see how big of a disaster I come up with. So with this painting, I encountered a lot of issues. So I typically don't like to draw and paint the same thing over and over and over again. I find that to be really redundant, but because I'm using this paper, I had to do a little experimenting. So I sketched it out on regular paper, what I wanted the overall piece to look like, and then I tried to draw it on the black mixed media paper. So when I painted out the first version, it looked really horrible. The paints were bright and vibrant, and that wasn't the issue. But the image, it was very hard to look at because it wasn't exactly what I wanted, and everything seemed really squashed. I used a really, really small piece of paper, and it was very hard to draw on the black mixed media paper because you couldn't quite see the lines, and I should have used a white pencil in hindsight, but that never occurred to me. So of course I did things the hard way, like I usually do. So the first piece, it was disappointing. So then I tried it again on a larger piece of black mixed media paper, and I painted it in, and it was significantly better. So then I looked at it, and that piece was a little too large. So then I had to get a third piece, and I had to cut it down a little smaller. And then I thought, okay, let's rein it in a little bit more. So I used the washi tape all the way around the border. That way the painting would be in a nice clean box, and then I would have this crisp black border all the way around. So with this final piece, I did encounter a lot of things that were really frustrating. Like, even though I'd put the lines down and I painted it in, the painting was fairly ugly for a minute there. It wasn't quite what I was wanting, and I almost scrapped the project altogether to do something a little simpler. But one of the issues was when I was painting in the face was over time morphing into a bigger face. It was not quite fitting the body. It was looking really squashy, and I had to sit down and give it time, because with any kind of painting that you do, it's going to require a lot of layers of paint. You're going to mess up. And I had to remind myself to be patient. I have so many projects that I'm working on right now that I'm trying to get them all done in a timely manner. And so sometimes I have the issue of rushing through my art pieces. So with this one, I had to really slow down and have patience with myself. And over time, it started looking better. So, I'm glad I stuck with it. The other issue I had was the folds in the fabric of the top that she was wearing. It started looking really lumpy. It wasn't quite what I was envisioning in the original sketch, but I made it work. It was something different. And I'm glad that I kept it the way that it turned out, because it actually did turn out pretty nice. And then the last issue I had with the painting was the gold leaf. So, I read the instructions with the glue that you're supposed to use, and the glue really did not want to adhere to the paper. And then the patience issue came back in. So I was overly excited to put this gold leaf paper down. And when I did, the glue was not tacky enough for the paper. So when I put it down, it just basically stuck in globs on this paper. And I had to go in with a fluffy brush and brush away all the excess, but there was gold leaf everywhere. The stuff is messy. So, and it wasn't quite the fine lines that I was hoping to have on certain areas. So I had to kind of improvise, go back in there, dab some more paint on top of it and around it to kind of smooth it out. But it wasn't quite what I was expecting. So I'm going to need either more practice with this gold leaf paper, or I'm just going to have to not use it again because it was time consuming. So overall, I did like the piece. This is another one that I will be selling off. Like I do with all of my art pieces, it will be up for sale. I'll be making copies. But I will also be selling the original as well. So if you want an art piece, just let me know. Contact me on my socials. Everything's listed in that description box. So look there for where to get a hold of me. And as usual, I will stop blabbering and let you enjoy the rest of the art piece. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the art group channel, as well as all the artists on the group. And have a nice day. Bye.